Ready, babe?
Yep.
Been looking forward to this.
Are you ready?
I am. Let me put my wallet away real quick.
According to the law, the wreckers receive from 25 to 50% of the salvage. The weather, the danger to the wrecker and crew, the level of skill required at the time it takes to complete the salvage are all considered in my awarding them their due. Judge William Martin, 1838.
But from the lips of disgruntled owners or careless captains, stories abounded about wreckers engaging in unscrupulous practices by luring unsuspecting vessels onto the reef with false lights from the shore, which some claim to mistake for navigational guides.
I had heard of the cruel and cowardly methods the wreckers employ to lure vessels of all nations to the dreaded reefs, so that they might plunder the cargoes and rob the crews and the passengers. Different, thought I, is often the knowledge acquired by a personal observation from that obtained by a report. John James Audubon, Key West, 1832.
The owner has lost a great deal of money, so when the captain gets back to New York or wherever his home is, and his boss says, what happened? He's not going to say, well, I got lost or I didn't patrol the ship in the storm. He's going to tell his boss that these guys moved the light on me, and that's the reason I hit the reef.
They are the instruments of saving an immense amount of property, which without their exertions would be wholly lost. And so far as their conduct in rendering these services, it has, but with few exceptions, been found correct, meritorious, and praiseworthy. If they have committed any offense against honor or justice, instantly I take from them their license. Judge James Webb, Key West's first federal judge.
He's right here.
Oh, he wants to be in the video.
Yeah.
Say hi, Redbeard.
It's Featherbeard.
Featherbeard. Back to the champion, 1865, 75, 80, 85.
People were literally cutting corners from his top coins and keeping the pieces for themselves. So we had to put a stop to that. Look what he's doing now. He's now using a mechanical press, so all the coins are identical and they're round, so there's no corners to cut. Now, basically, folks, as you walk around here today, for the most part, everything behind glass is real and authentic. Came off of a shipwreck. For example, everything in this case right here came off that ship right there. Except that ship right there, that's just a model. But it represents the El Cazador, and that's known as a shipwreck that changed history, and it literally did. It was a Spanish brig of war, and it set sail from Veracruz, Mexico in 1784. It was secretly loaded with 400,000 of those pieces of 8, and they were taking that silver to New Orleans to back up the paper money of Spain. Spain was in desperation. It needed that silver to make it to New Orleans, and that's how it changed history. It never made it. Just think if it would have made it. Louisiana might not be part of these United States today. But what's interesting is how this treasure was found. It wasn't that long ago, 1993. There was a fishing boat going across the Gulf of Mexico. Nets got caught on the bottom. When they finally freed those nets and pulled them up, they came up with hey, just a minute. They came up with a 45-pound boulder. That was nothing but Spanish silver coins. And there's a picture right beyond you where it says pieces of 8 from the El Cazador. That's what they pulled up in the Marinets. But folks, what's funny about this whole story, and why it is my favorite story, is the name of the fishing boat that found this treasure. Are you ready? The name of the fishing boat that found this treasure was called the Mistake. So we like to call this the treasure that was found by mistake. Wouldn't you like to make that mistake? Now let me ask you folks, have you ever wondered why they call them pieces of 8? Well, basically it was all about making change. But what you have to understand is back in the 1700s and earlier, the dollar went a lot further than it goes today. We're talking about like 30 times plus further, so much further that you might not want to spend your whole dollar in one place. So you could make change. You could cut it in half, make change, cut it in quarters, or make change, cut it in pieces of 8. And these pieces of 8 were also called bits. And that's where we get the American quarter from. 2 bits is a quarter. Shave and a haircut, 2 bits. Have you heard that before? There you go. But wait, there's more. We got something very special.
So they would, if you had one of these coins, you would cut it
Absolutely.
and give whatever.
Yeah. You could cut it, or the merchant could cut it. Even if you cut it, you know, they're going to weigh it. So they're going to make sure they get their money's worth.
Huh.
But now let me show you something else. We got something very special in America from the Spanish dollar. You're going to see a beautiful example of this dollar in just a few minutes over in the coins of the realm. But look closely at this dollar and you'll see 3 things that stand out. We got the 2 hemispheres, the crown, and the 2 pillars. You see those pillars? Now the pillars are called Pillars of Hercules from Roman mythology. Look closely at those pillars. And you'll notice there's a banner wrapped around them. You see the banner? Well, guess what we got from the banner wrapped around the Pillar of Hercules? Yeah, that's Latin to me. Yeah. But what we got from the banner wrapped around the Pillar of Hercules was the dollar sign.
Oh, that's cool.
You see, in 1770, the bankers, the bookkeepers, and the businessmen were getting tired of writing out the word dollar all the time. So I imagine one day one reached into his pocket, pulled out a dollar, looked at it, saw something, drew it out, and said, gentlemen, let's just use that as an abbreviation for the word dollar. And that's where it all started, so that by 1785, in America, we then officially adopted that as the official symbol of the dollar bill, and we've used it ever since. So, I'm Captain Joe. I'm here to tell you more stories, answer any questions you may have. But feel free to take all the pictures you want, and if you want, I'll even pose for you. There you go. But when you're ready to go upstairs, there's more up there, and in the far right corner, double doors. They go outside and up the mountain. We get a nice view of Key West up there. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Now, right now, when you're touching that silver bar, you're touching over $100,000. Silver is so high right now, folks, it's incredible.
Yeah.
It's not been like that in the 4 years I've worked here. Only 2 years ago, that same bar that's worth over $100,000 today was only worth $23,000 back then, 2 years ago. So that's pretty high. That's almost as high as the price of eggs, ain't it? Almost.
Interesting.
Now, if you look really close at those emeralds, you'll notice they sparkle. You know why they're sparkling? That's gold dust on them. And that all happened in the process of time, being in the deep blue sea for over 300 years. In that process of time, some of the gold coins around them disintegrated, and along with the salt water, crystallized and wrapped themselves around those emeralds. So you know what happened, don't you? Basically what happened is the gold and the emeralds got together, and the rest was chemistry. Woohoo! Well, it's an act of nature. That's something you don't see every day. Well, I do. There you go. Hey, if you look at that third coin from the left, look at the left, count all the 3 coins, you'll see that the pillar dollar, really good there. Up there at the top, see that? There you go. And on the right side, you can see the dollar sign just pops right out at you. Oh, yeah.
What do you think all these
Now look at
coins
the
do?
coins next to it, and you'll see they have dents. You know where they got those dents from? China.
Okay.
In 1720, the British East Indian Company started doing business with China, and they would buy their porcelain, their ivory, and their spices and exotic items, and they would pay for them by using the Spanish dollar. Well, every time one of those merchants got a dollar, he wanted to make sure it was real, so he put a dent in it. But if you look closely at those dents, you'll notice they're Chinese characters. They actually mean words. Not only do they mean words, but they're also like, for that merchant, it was his trademark. That was his kind of his seal of approval, saying this is real silver. There you have it. Now, did you see the movie downstairs about the Isaac Arlington? The good news about the Isaac Arlington is not one single person died in that hurricane. I can't say that about my other stories. But we were able to rescue them, bring them safely to shore. Then we simply had to go back and unload the boat. Well, the boat's in 30 feet of water. That's 5 fathoms deep. And back then we're free diving. You had to hold your breath and jump in. So we had to come up with some way to get access on the ship, because when it sunk, the doors were closed and they stayed closed because of the pressure of the water. Well, look what we came up with. You get access on the ship. We actually used this base right here. You know what we did with it? We made a bomb out of it. We filled it up with gunpowder and put wax on the top and a wax fuse and lowered it on top of the ship, and kaboom! Instant hole. But I think we made too good of a bomb, because look what was on that ship. Tons and tons of fine Italian marble, beautiful works of art. And look at the face behind the vase, this poster here. That's a Capitol. This was what was all headed for New Orleans back in the day, and in 1856, and they were taking all this marble to the U.S. Customs House to literally build a marble mansion. Well, this marble never made it, but it did make a pretty penny for the people of Key West. And did you see these bottles over here? They all got coral growth and barnacles and marl on it. And we brought up a bunch of bottles back in that day. We brought up crate after crate of champagne, beer, ale, cider, rum, you name it, even sarsaparilla. But these bottles here were left behind for another 130 years to be rediscovered by my friends Steve and Ray Maloney and Doug Jones in 1985. And
I got a question for you.
Sure.
How did the records salvage? Are they shallower boats that were able to get in to the same places where the ships were wrecking?
Oh, sorry, babe.
To rescue either people or cargo, they had to go into the same territory. So
Well, they were definitely smaller ships.
a smaller.
Yeah, they were like the sloops over here, like this sail ship. Now, that's the Constitution, but you see over there, even though that's big comparison, that was a smaller ship. So that was a lighter ship.
Okay, smaller, lighter,
Yeah.
shallower, just able to navigate the same territory.
Yeah, the big ships were, they were much bigger. But did you see these bottles here? And did you see these here? This was from 1985 when my friends found all this. But Ray
All
Maloney,
the
he
stuff
went
grew
back
around it.
about 5 months ago. He
coral.
brought this stuff up with his crews. Look at this. The bottles are still sealed. They've never been opened. They still got the liquid in them. You wonder what that liquid is? Well, compare these bottles with these bottles, and you'll see what these bottles are not, because they don't compare. So that means that's not beer, ale, cider, or champagne, or rum, or even sarsaparilla. What? Bottles they match. Mineral water. I just looked to show you what a bottle of water.
He sure was a character, huh?
Yeah, he was. I liked him.
Me too.
Did you get a video of him when he posed?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, good.
I've been recording the whole thing, so if we have time, we'll go back to the beginning, but I wanted to see everything because they're closing soon. Almonds and Brazil nuts. Historic documents with ties to key list.
Look at that.
It's very simple.
What are you looking at?
Rex. If we are not directly interested in the business, our support wholly comes from it. Stop that, and we cease to live.
When a wrecker brought in salvaged cargo and a damaged vessel as well, he was met at the dock by local merchants. They negotiated as to whose warehouse the cargo would be consigned until an auction took place. With an average of one wreck a week, the auctions provided townspeople with entertainment as well as much of their food and supplies. Payday.
That's really cool.
What's the compass?
Oh, look at that. Gold ones. Oh, 1854. That's awesome.
What, babe?
It's cool. Oh, okay.
She's got to show Kiki.
Look, that's from 1838, Kayla, this picture.
Did you see this replica of this house? Look on
Yeah,
the
I
side
already
and
did
side.
that. That's cool. I looked at the other side. I didn't see this side.
Yeah. There's even a little loft with the window, but you don't see it from the other side.
Cool. I like that. Look at the city back in the old days.
Yeah, well. Oh, look at that.
Look at this old coffee thing, Kayla. Real silverware. Look at the shape of the silverware. It's not as rounded as it is today. Unless it just bent, maybe.
By the rules of wrecking, first captain to reach a grounded vessel is best, gets a big share. But the squire is stuck up at the pulpit. If he lets us know, we'd all rush out of church and surely beat him to the wreck. So says he. Brothers and sisters, let us get to a relief of the coconut.
The fact that they're pointed more and not rounded.
Yeah, look at the gold.
Oh yeah.
A ship full of gold. Look at all that gold. Holy moly. California Gold Rush. Is this the town again?
Just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Waving his arms, the words fairly flying from his lips. When he reaches the back door, he turns and yells, "Back to shore! And we will all run a
Look
race
at
to see
Captain
who
Philip
receiveth the prize."
Dog.
With that, he's out the door, leaving us all there trying to get out the door behind him. Talk about too many fish in a barrel. Folks flocking around that church and yelling and trying not to step on the women and kids. We were right at his heels, but blame it if he didn't make the wreck first. That Squire's a rascal sure enough. And now Mr. Tiff has us up on the lookout even on Sundays. If you're going up, keep a sharp eye out for me, will you?
Look at that. Do you think they would really that little, or they have to like scrunch up on their little bunks? Those are tiny.
Like 6 bed or something.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know how you could scrunch into that.
That's gonna be like on the boat.
Look at this. Holy moly. I think there's more history here than the whole state we live in. It's still the same original building. We're gonna be able to look out of it in a minute. He said upstairs, I think. Push here, maybe that's where you look out at it. See the city, look. Rutgers Tower, this way. Rutgers Lookout Tower. Oh, this is awesome.
A few remarks I have to make, which won't be very long. Here's of our vessel stout and good as ever yet was built. Along the reef where the breakers roar, the wreckers.
Oh, we get to go up to the top of it.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Oh, so many stairs.
Look how blue the water is. Oh my goodness. Yep, that's a cruise boat right there, huh? I thought they came here. It's too cold to come down here. Holy moly, look how big that cruise ship is. It's Margaritaville. Look at this one. No, this one. Look how big that one is.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's like the size of a town. Casino.
It's always 5 o'clock.
Oh, look at the island out there with all those houses.
Oh, it's just us. This is Gulf of Mexico.
The Gulf of America.
Whatever.
Maybe the new sign. Holy moly, that ship is so big.